be a dandy. The Minnetonka Skippers, ranked number 3 in the state of Minnesota, taking on the Hibbing Blue Jackets, currently ranked 6th in the state. Hibbing's only loss so far this year has come to the number 1 ranked team in the state, the Edina Hornets. And Steve, this ought to be a dandy. You've got some statistics there. Why don't you give us a little information on what we can expect tonight?
Well, so far, as you know, it's only Hibbing only had 1 loss, and they are 6-0 in the Iron Range Conference. And running through some of these stats, some of the bigger scorers are going down the line. Pete Wohlers for Hibbing, Paul Girardi, John Rue, Steve Terrell, Doug Terrell, and Pat Zabotnik. Those are about the top 6 scorers.
Wohlers has 15 points this year, 8 goals and 7 assists. So off to a flying start. There's the signal, let's play hockey. The starting lineups for tonight's game for the visiting Minnetonka Skippers. Number 30, Lance Madsen, a senior, gets a start and goal. At the defense, number 5, Peter Spong. Number 16, Greg Harrison. First line, number 4, Chad Hansen, centering 12, Jeff Christ, and number 22, Knut Thomason. For the Blue Jackets, Jim Monticelli returns to the nets for the Jackets. Number 2, Cal Huseman, and number 4, Joey Gosted on defense. Steve Terrell centering Pat Sabachnik and Doug Terrell tonight as Hibbing's mixed up their lines, and we're under play. Puck comes back to the Minnetonka blue line. Now knocked into the zone by Steve Terrell, goes behind the skipper's net. Doug Terrell chases. Puck goes up the far boards and out to center ice, and there's Steve Terrell back. And we've got a penalty already. An elbowing call on number 4, Joey Gosted. Didn't take very long, a matter of 19 seconds. And Joe Gosted will get the penalty for elbowing for the Hibbing Blue Jackets.
It looks like Hibbing's trying to come out and put a little intimidation on the Minnetonka, what are they, Skippers, there we go. And looks like, well, since the ratings in the state usually do mean a little bit to these kids, it gives them a sense of pride the higher they are in the ratings. I guess they want to bump out the Giants in the state as they play them.
And this is a real intersectional battle because there's a definite north-south rivalry in the state of Minnesota. And this Minnetonka club is excellent, and they can't afford, Hibbing cannot afford to let Minnetonka go out on the power play. Out for Hibbing is number 17, Doug Terrell, number 19, Steve Terrell, with Hardy and Stavness on the points. Out for the Skippers, Christ, Hansen, and Thomason are out with the points. That's Spong and Harrison, so they just leave their first line out here as they don't go to anything special on their power play. Skippers controlling in the Jacket zone, comes back out to Spong. Spong gets it down to Hansen. Hansen with a shot, knocked down in front, and a goal. Monticelli and 2 defensemen standing there. Nobody could clear the puck, and it's knocked in by the Skippers.
That goal came at 2:04 of the first period.
1:04.
Oh, 1:04. Excuse me. My mathematics is not as
and that's a power play. That's a power play goal for Minnetonka.
That penalty on the Jackets proved to be quite costly for Hibbing. I think now they maybe have to settle down on maybe some of the rough stuff.
Chad Hansen gets the goal with an assist to Jeff Christ, and the Blue Jackets are in the hole already. And now the puck is in the Minnetonka zone. Skippers controlling. Oh, excuse me, 22, that's Knut Thompson. Knut Thomason with the goal. Jackets come in the zone, knocked down. There's Tom Sullivan, bringing it around behind the net. Now trying to center it out, but it's intercepted by number 7, Kozara. He's knocked down, and holding it in is Johnny Schwartz, but now he gives it up in the slot. And Kozara clears it to center for Matt Johnson. He can't hold the puck, comes back out to center ice. So Knut Thomason gets the goal, with an assist from Jeff Christ at just 1:04, a power play goal for the Skippers. And there's a long pass that goes nowhere. And it's cleared up to the Hibbing line in the zone, right from the blue line, no icing or anything, so they'll race back. Oh, right out in front of Monticelli has to make a great stop, as in on that play was number 15, Mark Youngquist, and he took the deflection from behind the net from Parrish Cronin and almost put it in the net.
12:49 left in the first period. Going back to that goal that we had here, looked like Monticelli may have been screened out in front, or possibly not even screened on the rebound. They just put it in, caught him off guard.
Puck comes through the slot, cleared away nicely. Over to get is Andy O'Brien. Now Joe Gosted, the recipient of that penalty, takes it back behind his own net. Now they clear into the slot, give it away. A quick shot by number 14 and cleared away by a nice play as Jeff Guido took that shot. Monticelli clearing and stopping and then clearing it with his stick. Here comes Girardi, tries to get a pass to Rue, but can't do so. Puck comes to the rear boards, trying to clear it out, held in by Mike Hardy, and Girardi clears it back behind the net where Rue will control. Now Rue hammered into the boards by number 18, Phil Buntius. Now it comes over to the far side to Andy O'Brien. He gets it back to the point. Nobody there as Gosted was moving the other direction, and the puck will come all the way back in the Jacket zone, and mass substitution by the Minnetonka Skippers. Now playing center ice, that's number 22, Thomason, the goal scorer. Now it comes over up to the point, trying to clear it out of the Jackets. Can't quite do so. Puck is held in. Now it comes outside the zone, and that's Steve Terrell trying to control. The puck still rolling. Gets back to the Minnetonka blue line. Now Steve Terrell knocks it in on goal. Lance Madsen clears it aside. Hammered over in the boards by Doug Terrell. Steve Terrell handles the puck in the slot. Skates through. Takes a shot right on Madsen. He clears it away. Comes over to Doug Terrell, right into the slot, right on goal. Tipped in by Steve Terrell, and Madsen makes the stop.
Taking care of a brief moment of business. This programming is produced by the Television Production 2 class in the Mass Communications Department at Hibbing Community College, Arrowhead Region. Any authorized use or retransmission in whole or in part is prohibited without the written consent of Hibbing Community College.
Puck is dropped, comes behind the net, picked up by number 18. That's Pat Zabotnik. He clears it right in front. Oh! Puck is cleared away by a defenseman. His moving in was Doug Terrell. Now it comes back to the point. Knut Thomason clears it all the way down. We'll have an icing call on the Skippers with 11:11 left in this first period and a 1-0 lead for Minnetonka.
This programming is being underwritten by the following: Sullivan Supply Pro Sports, Northwoods Ford, Manny Shopper, Perboni Sausage and Company, Erickson Music Center, Merchants and Minor State Bank in Hibbing, B&R Engineering, Sales Incorporated, First Federal Savings and Loan Association, the Men's Shop, Plaza Automobile, and the Viking Supply Incorporated.
Now the Jackets control slot. Quick shot, hits the toe. Cleared behind again. Cleared out by a defenseman. Madsen got his toe on that first shot, and the second shot was cleared away by number 18, Phil Buntius. And now the Skippers control and clear the puck out to center ice. And now we've got a race between Gosted and Matt Johnson. Gosted picks up the puck. Johnson chases him behind his own net. Here comes Gosted out towards center. Puck is hit with a high stick. Let's see the Skippers control, so that knocks off that playing the puck with a high stick call. Now Johnson controls and clears it in the zone. Back to get it is Gosted. Gosted looks for somebody to get it over to. Gets over in the corner, Tom Sullivan, but he can't control as Jay Wida gets it. Now Wida centers it out in front, but it's cleared away by Wohlers. He just pats it out into the corner. Now Wohlers controls again, just slides it out to the point to Mark Johnson. Big shot. Comes out to center. Oh, puck bounces over Wohlers' stick. Otherwise, he would have had a one-on-one there, maybe a two-on-one. Puck comes back in the zone. We'll have an delayed offside on the Skippers. Fast hockey game so far, Steve.
Minnetonka has proved that they can really skate well moving around that puck, and I see they're always moving someone in front of the net. Continually moving someone. Teams
out of the cities, of course, they skate all year long, it seems like, and they use a real movement-oriented offense, and Hibbing's going to have a tough time tonight keeping up with these kids because they move a lot.
I've noticed the northern schools usually use bodily power, and
that's definitely a speed versus the body game. And now a nice pass up to Girardi. He's got a break, and he's knocked down. Puck is hit, too. We'll have a penalty. Jackets control behind. Puck is held. Now we have a whistle. I believe it's number 14 on a trip. That's exactly who it is. Number 14, Jeff Gillo, will go to the sin bin for Minnetonka for tripping.
.9:47 left in the period, in his first period. Minnetonka leads this one 1-0. Hibbing goes on their first power play of the game. Hopefully they can pull something out here.
5:13, the time of that penalty. Drop it back to the point. There's a quick shot that's blocked and cleared out to center. That shot by Steve Terrell. Terrell and Gosted on the points with Wohlers, Girardi, and Schwartz. Yeah, that's Schwartz, isn't it? Sure, Johnny Schwartz, number 3 out there. Now he's trying to clear it out in front. They can't do it. He gets it back out to the points. Now down to the corner again. That's, I believe it's Girardi. It is Girardi controlling the puck in the corner. He's got to do something with it. You can't score from there. Gets it out to the Gosted in the slot. Puck is batted away and comes out to center ice, and Johnny Schwartz will control. Out for the Skippers, Jeff Christ, Greg number 6 is also on the ice. That's Dan Laughlin. Now Wohlers brings it in. They try to kick it out to center. Hibbing holds it in. There's Joey Gosted moving in. Takes a shot right into the defenseman as he dropped in front of the puck. That was Laughlin. And the puck is cleared all the way down. And now the Skippers will change again on the fly. 4 new players coming over the boards. Actually only 3 right now. So I think they're playing one-man. There he comes on the ice. The Skippers were playing one-man extra short by accident. On now for the Skippers, Kazara. Number 12, Christ is still out there. Number 20 also on the ice. It's Mark Johnson. As they just line up 4 abreast at the blue line and force you to come in. Matt Johnson, number 9 out. As they just lined up 4 right across the blue line there, Steve. And that's one way to stop them. Now Hardy falls down at the point and the puck is cleared down the ice again and back to get his Stavnes. Interesting the way they'll just wait on their own side of the blue line here. And as the Hibbing players come, they back up and just go 4 abreast right at the blue line. And they dare you to carry it in the zone. Now puck just lays loose in there and we have a break. Here comes Matt Johnson on a break. Shot, big save. Another shot. Oh, cleared wide. That Stavnes got a piece of that one. Clear it wide. Now the puck comes over on the far boards. That's John Rue trying to clear it out. Now the puck's underneath. Doug Terrell comes out to center ice. Is pushing and shoving. Now back in the Jacket zone. Jackets regroup. There's Sullivan. Just clips it ahead into the Skipper zone. Pass over to the far boards. Gets by everybody. Stavnes will try to go back in control and do so as he takes the puck away from number 14, Jeff Gilo. Now it's cleared up along the far boards. There's a Hibbing player going down. The puck lays at the point and Hardy clears it out to center to Wohlers. Wohlers and Sullivan. Sullivan nailed at the blue line, but the puck goes in. Wohlers controls behind the Minnetonka net. Now Sullivan will control, gets it back over to the near side, but that's number 18, Phil Bonthius. Now a quick shot taken by number 2 out there, Cal Huseman. He can't control. Puck comes out of the zone. Now the Skippers will change and the Jackets will go back to pick it up. That's number 15, Tom Piscuzzi. Clears it up to the open wing and the puck will come all the way back to the Minnetonka blue line and it's finally picked up by Knut Thomason. Thomason wheels and deals in center ice over to number 12, Christ, but the puck goes down to Monticelli. He just flips it behind his own net, but Thomason controls again. Thompson gets it back out to the point to Harrison. Harrison just tips it in front. That's Christ. Christ carries, drops it back, intercepted nicely by Andy O'Brien. Now Piscuzzi, O'Brien, and Christ battle behind the net. Puck comes loose over to the near boards. Held in nicely at the point by Peter Spong. Now back behind his net is Christ. Christ tries the center, is hammered behind the net by Big Cal Huseman. And now the Jackets will bring it out to center with Andy O'Brien. He just clears it down. That's going to be an icing call on the Blue Jackets, and it is, with 5:56 left in the period and a 1-0 Minnetonka lead.
This program is being underwritten by the following: Sullivan Supply, Pro Sports, Northwoods Ford, Matty Shopper for Boney Sausage and Company, Erickson Music Center, Merchants and Miners State Bank of Hibbing, B&R Engineering Sales Incorporated, First Federal Savings and Loan Association, The Men's Shop, Claudio Oldsmobile, and Viking Supply Incorporated.
Wonder what school they ran into to get these chairs from. Geez, my mother sat on this chair, I think.
I think these chairs are older than the memorial building itself.
Well, they were probably here when it was built. They probably just built around them, actually. Okay, we're having trouble with the face-off, and now Steve Terrell's thrown out of the face-off, so Doug Terrell will come in and take the face-off.
Hibbing is continuing with that body game, trying to intimidate Minnetonka, which that is the way Hibbing plays. They come out to intimidate you and to knock you around a bit. Minnetonka seems to be handling it quite well with their skating.
Now the puck goes along the far boards. That's Steve Terrell dumping it out to brother Doug. Doug controls and brings it into the Skipper zone. Now it just kind of gives Greg Harrison a push and goes around him, but the Skippers control. Now behind their own net, there's a collision. And now bringing it out on the far side are the Skippers. Gosted tries to hold it at the point, can't do so. Now Hardy clears it right back up to the Skippers line and carrying it in is Terrell, Steve Terrell, nobody there. Now Zabachnik tries to pick it up, but he can't. And into the zone comes Jeff Kazara. A weak shot on Monticelli and a goal. Monticelli fanned on it as he tried to clear it to the corner. And right in there for the Skippers was, I believe, number 17, Jay Wida. No, it looks like it might be number 16, Harrison. Goal number 2, and the Hibbing is down 2-0 at time of that goal. 9 minutes and 44 seconds. We'll have to wait to see. I think Harrison might have had it. Let's see what we got. 16 from 7. 16 from 7 it is. So the Minnetonka Skippers, puck is shot in the zone offside. Minnetonka jumps out to a quick 2-0 lead. Greg Harrison with the goal.
Hibbing just not putting anything together to get the puck in the zone, or in the goal, I should say.
Jeff Kazara gets the assist, and Hibbing does not look real fresh this period. Minnetonka, they've been in town since New Year's night. So actually that's last night as we're watching this game, and they look a little fresh. They look like they've been real relaxed. There's a puck comes over to Sanborn. He leaves it at the point for number 5. That's Dan Kasner, but he can't control. Puck is kicked down into the Hibbing zone, and quickly racing after Kurt Thomason. Minnetonka showing great speed here. And now puck is along the near boards to Skipper's control. That's big number 4, Chad Hansen. It comes out to center ice now. Laying on the body right here along the near boards, and now dumped into the Minnetonka zone. Almost had a break for Troy Dilla. And we've got a hand pass and a face-off coming up. Okay, I'll talk then. Who do you, if you had a vote to cast, who would you cast a vote for number 1 in football in the country, college football?
Oh, that's hard to say. I like Penn State. I really do like Penn State. I like Paterno and the way he coaches, and he doesn't have a flashy team. They're like the Hibbing hockey team. They play with power.
Oh, and the Jackets almost had a goal in front, but the sticks were lifted and fanning on the puck, and here come the Skippers back to center ice. This is number 14 racing in Gilo, but he's intercepted by Huseman. Huseman is met at the blue line and cleared back out to center. Now Tom Sullivan controls. Jacket caught in the zone. Tips it back to John Schwartz. Schwartz just tips it ahead to the Minnetonka zone and again back out to center ice. Gilo tries to knock it into the Hibbing zone, but fans, a lot of fanning going on out there, a lot of heeling of the puck there. They seem to be hitting the puck with the heel of their stick, and we've got offside, and we'll have a face-off coming up to the left of goaltender Lance Madsen. My pick for number 1 in the country would have to be the Tennessee Volunteers. UCLA beat Iowa. Iowa was top-ranked. Tennessee plays in the toughest conference in college football, the SEC. They beat Georgia. They beat Alabama. Tied UCLA. And, when you win the SEC, it means you had to beat the likes of Georgia, Alabama, Georgia Tech, Auburn. So on the basis of schedule and the way they played last night, they just blew the University of Miami out. So
they did.
While nobody's going to agree with me, that's who I would vote for if I had a vote. I don't have a vote. So.
I really don't like the voting system. I agree with Joe Paterno with the system of the playoff.
Let's play it off. Let's make a season a 10-game season and take that one extra game, and then if they played a 3-game playoff system, they'd play 13. They play 12 right now as it is. So what's the big deal? Oh, a shot just wide, and the puck will come all the way outside the zone. That big shot by Jay Whita. And now it's knocked down. Into the zone comes Girardi, but it's knocked down by the Skippers. Knocked back to center ice. Puck goes off Andy O'Brien, and O'Brien and Gostad will both race back. Puck comes through the slot, nobody home. Girardi controls, now clears it over to the far side to Gostad, goes over his stick. Held in at the point nicely by number 16, Greg Harrison, but the puck comes back to center, and knocked off the puck was Andy O'Brien. And the Jackets complete their change now.
Minnetonka start laying the body on the Jackets now, and a little bit of retaliation.
Well, that's one way to, they don't hit just to hit, however. They only hit when it's necessary for them to do so, as you notice. And Zaboknik now clears it in as Hibbing's first line that started the game tonight with Terrell and Zaboknik is on. Held in nicely by Stavnes at the point. He moves in right through the crease, nobody home as Zaboknik couldn't get over. Drops it back to Huseman at the point. Cal backhands it into the slot. There's a shot. Big stop. Another shot. Another stop by Madsen as number 18, Pat Zaboknik, was there and had 2 shots in front of the net, and neither of them could go in as Madsen was up to the task.
Hibbing just having a hard time putting that puck in the net.
Well, they're doing everything right except putting it in the net tonight. They've played well, but they're behind 2-0 with 2:37 left here in this first period.
I think we're in for an exciting game as the periods roll on.
Well, Hibbing's going to have to get a goal soon and hold Minnetonka from where they are. Otherwise, you can't get more than 3 goals behind this Minnetonka club. They are ranked number 3 in the state of Minnesota. And a lot of people will say they haven't beat anybody. They beat Hastings, and Hastings has an excellent hockey team this year.
That's another thing I somewhat disagree with is the polling system in high school.
I don't think there should be one.
I mean, all it does is make the kids nervous, and they're in high school. I mean, it's...
Oh, a shot just wide by number 17, Doug Terrell. you're right, it does make the kids nervous. It makes them, puts a lot of pressure on kids that they don't need. It doesn't make any difference where you are in the poll. It's where you end up at the end of the year in your region. That's what gets you to the state tournament, your section. So polls really don't mean diddly squat if you don't win the region or the section.
Go ahead. Just under 2 minutes left in the period.
We'll get this right.
Okay.
Now into the Jacket zone. That's Hardy control. He clears it around behind his own net. And leaving without the puck was Schwartz. Now it's cleared out to center ice. And we're down to 1:40 left in this period. And again, back into the Jacket zone, and Hardy chases.
Hibbing possibly trying to mount something up to get at least one goal to go back into locker rooms for the second period.
Peter Spong controlling over to Harrison. He fans out. That's not Harrison at all. That's number 20, Mark Johnson. Skippers have an interesting system. They use 2 starting defensemen, Spong and Harrison, and then they rotate the other 3. So they only rotate 5 defensemen. So you never know who's going to be on the ice on defense. So if we make a mistake now and then, that's the reason why. Now, quickly out to center ice. That's number 15, Youngquist. This is their third line on. Youngquist carries it down to the zone. Now, that's Wohlers. He's knocked down. And the Jackets, Schwartz clearing it out. Gets it over to Tommy Sullivan. Puck bouncing a lot tonight. He can't control. 1 minute left in the first period. Cleared ahead to Sullivan by Pescuzzi. He can't control. Now, Huseman has it at his own blue line. Clears it out to Wohlers. Wohlers 1-on-2. 1-on-3 and 4 now as they quickly get back to the Skippers. Clears it right in front, knocked away nicely by number 18, Phil Bunthius. Puck's back to the point, deflected by a defenseman, and here come the Skippers back to center again. Now a couple of players falling in center ice, and Huseman bumps it into the zone. Tries to clear, Huseman with the steal. Oh, shoots it wide as he tried to pick the far corner. Now holding it in will be John Rue as he tripped over the blue line and went sprawling, but he managed to hold it in. Now it comes back to center ice. And losing the puck is Gosted, and on a break comes number 17, Weeda. He centers it back into the slot. Nobody home. 13 seconds left. Oh, number 20 wound up, but he didn't have the puck as it was taken away by his own man. That number 20 was Mark Johnson. Now we have a possible break for the Blue Jackets, but back quickly is number 18, Bunthius.
And
that's the end of the first period. We'll get the saves in a second. Minnetonka 2, Hibbing nothing.
Hibbing looking pretty good in the last moments of that first period, keeping the puck into the Minnetonka zone. Not many shots on goal, but the ones that they had were well stopped by, who was their goalie? Excuse me here.
Saves in that period were 8 apiece as they have counted them down by the ice. 8 for Madsen and 8 for Jim Monticelli. We've got an interview coming up with Bo Nikoloff here in just a second. We get ourselves straightened away here a little bit. We got to work a little bit here. We're ready for second period action here. Both teams surrounding, little ice repair going on. Both teams surrounding their goaltenders, their goals, as we have a little ice repair in center ice. Minnetonka 2, Hibbing nothing. Steve, we'll recap that first period quickly for you.
And in the first period, it was going through, let's see what we have here. Running down the penalties first. First penalty came for Hibbing. That was 19 seconds into the first period. It was on Gosted for elbowing for Hibbing. That's the first penalty of the first period. Second penalty came to Minnetonka's Jeff Gello for tripping at 5:13. And scored on Minnetonka, Knut Thompson from Jeff Christ. It was 1:04 in the first period. And the second goal came at 9:44 off of Greg Harrison, assisted by Jeff Kazara. I hope I got that right. Saves were 8 apiece for Minnetonka and Hibbing.
That first goal, of course, Knut Thomason's goal was a power play goal after Gosted's penalty at 1:04, and that just got the Jackets off on the wrong foot, and it's now 2-0, shot into the Minnetonka zone. Back to get it is Greg Harrison. Harrison now rolls it over to the far boards to Jeff Weeta, Jay Weeta. Now it comes across to the near boards. Hammered over there is Knut Thomason. And we have a puck being held along the near boards and a whistle. So
Minnetonka's laying in the body already. They seem to be pushing back a little bit.
Well, they have to. They can't allow it to be pushed around. As this faceoff will now come to the left of goaltender Lance Madsen. On the faceoff, Steve Terrell against number 4, Chad Hansen.
This is HCCV Cable Channel 2 Community Television for the city of Hibbing.
Shot from the point, cleared into the corner. That's shot by Huseman. Now back out to the point to Huseman. He winds and shoots. Goes wide. Comes over to the near side. Joey Gosted can't hold it in. And now to center ice comes Thomason, but he overskates the puck. Now a big hit in center ice as Steve Terrell knocked number 12, Jeff Christ, flying. Oh, Chris takes the puck in the slot, but he can't control. And here come the Jackets back to center ice. That's Terrell to Huseman. And he clears it over to the open wing. Now Huseman controls the back of the net. No, he's ridden off the puck. And over to Thomason. And it's cleared all the way down. That'll be an icing call on the Minnetonka Skippers with 13:54 left in the first period. 2-0 Minnetonka.
This program is being underwritten by the following: Sullivan Supply of Pro Sports, Northwoods Ford, Manny Shopper for Boney's Sausage Company, Erickson Music Center, Merchants and Minor State Bank of Hibbing, B&R Engineering Sales Incorporated, First Federal Savings and Loan Association, the Men's Shop, Claude Oldsmobile, and Viking Supply Incorporated.
You like that, don't you? Yeah, he just gave me a vicious elbow in the booth here at referee. Didn't see it, however, so he got away with it. Now back into the Hibbing zone comes Hardy. Well, Suzak's been sharpening his elbows over at his house lately, I think.
Well, I have to. You're speaking all the time.
Draw blood. Okay, over to Schwartz. Schwartz coming up the near side. Oh, there's a hack. Almost looked like a butt end, but it's not called. There's a hammer into the boards. Puck comes along the near boards. Skippers trying to clear it out, and do to Stavnes, who now clears it over to Mike Hardy. Hardy up in center ice, gets it ahead to Wohlers, and he bumps it into the skipper zone. Two skippers hit the ice, but back to get it is number 20, Mark Johnson. Now cleared behind the skipper net. Big hit by Wohlers over there behind the net as they try to freeze the puck. Puck lays loose. Now they hold it behind the net, and we'll have a face-off as Tommy Sullivan and number 7, Jeff Kozara, collide behind the net and look at each other. You get the vicious stare down. And, oh, by the way, Steve, we have a new heavyweight champion in the AWA wrestling. Stan Hansen defeated Rick Martel last night in New Jersey in the Meadowlands.
Oh.
Big New Year's Day extravaganza. So Stan the Lariat Hansen, for those of you who really care, and there's nobody up here that does, but Stan the Lariat Hansen is the new AWA heavyweight champion.
Many people going, who is Stan Hansen?
Oh, he's quite a guy. And his first title defense, by the way, comes in St. Paul in a week, as he will square off against the America's heavyweight champion, Sergeant Slaughter. So
that'll be something I'll be sure to miss.
Yeah, Channel 2 was going to telecast that match, but something came up, so we couldn't make it. The puck goes into the near boards now. Now the skipper's trying to clear it out, but it's held in by Girardi. Now it comes out to center ice. As out to center ice comes Jeff Gilo. Gilo clears it in, gets it ahead to Youngquist, but that's an offside. It's kind of a slow start to this period. A lot of whistles.
A lot of body checking by both teams. I think Hibbing is just trying to come out, control the puck, and take the decent shots.
Hibbing just needs to get a goal here. It'd be nice to get a cheapie or just something to get a break and maybe get that goaltender to question himself a little bit, because so far he's stopped everything that's come by. Here's a break for Girardi. He races in, shot. Oh, hit the pipe. I think he hit the pipe on that one. Either that or goaltender Madsen made the save. From this angle, it could have been either way. We'll give Madsen a save, give him the benefit of the doubt. Cleared right into the slot. There's the Jackets fanning on the shot again. Now, it wasted in front of the net as a Minnetonka skipper as he nailed Monticelli. Monticelli tried to clear the puck, couldn't do so, and was hammered in front of the net as a couple of players ran into him.
That was Jan Hadson receiving that shot, which...
big hit, too, as now Monticelli controls behind his own net, leaves it for Tom Piscuzzi. Gets it out ahead to Steve Terrell, and it's poke check back into the zone by little number 4, Chad Hansen. Not a big man, but likes to throw the body around and is a little, makes things happen out there. Now, quickly in front of the net is Chris, but he's hammered behind the net. Now Piscuzzi controls and skates it out to the near side to Doug Terrell. He just flips it up to the open wing, comes out to center ice. And Steve Terrell tries to control. We've got a delayed offside coming up now as the puck does come out to center ice, so no call. And Doug Terrell, everybody fanning on the puck for the Jackets tonight so far, as Doug Terrell just did also. Now shot in by number 22, Thomason. Wide of the net, into the corner, Thomason and Christ, along with Gosted. Now it's centered back out to the point. Quick shot goes over the net, behind the net, and into the near boards to Tom Piscuzzi. And he can't clear it as over there's Knut Thomason. Thomason's a good little hockey player.
Yes, he is. He's small, but he's scrappy. He's not afraid to bump around with the big boys.
Boy, that was a dangerous pass and an offside on the Jackets. A dangerous pass in front of his own net, though, by the Jackets. Luckily, the Minnetonka player could not intercept. He came out to center ice, and the Jackets almost had a break, but offside over there was Steve Terrell.
Fairly nice crowd on hand here tonight, but not as many as we expected.
Well, the Minnetonka brought a few people down, but of course when Hibbing's playing Greenway or Grand Rapids, that visitor section's filled up, and of course with Minnetonka coming up from the cities, it's not. Oh, a beautiful play and a big stop by Madsen as Wohlers was right in front. We'll have it icing. That is icing. Wohlers set up in the slot, and Madsen came up with a big save.
Hibbing just can't really get it together. They got to get past Madsen once, just to shake him up a bit. And once they do that, then they'll have a little bit easier going at him.
They had an open, Wohlers was open over there, but Madsen threw himself across the crease and made the save.
Madsen showing some fine goaltending tonight, taking on some of those breakaways. And
ooh, big shot is wide by Wohlers from the slot. Now Huseman moves in, clears it back over to the side of the net and behind the net. And now the Skippers try to come out, but Hardy holds it at the point, clears it back into the near corner. Puck comes high off the boys. Huseman tries to hold it in, can't do so, but back to get it is number 5, Kasner. As now into Wohlers. Kasner will chase. Kasner wears it down, clears right in front. Nobody home. Is tied up was Schwartz. Schwartz was in front, but he was effectively tied up by the defenseman. Now cleared. That should be interference, and we won't have a call. Right in front of the official and no call.
I don't believe that.
You got to be able to
believe that.
Lance Madsen falls on the puck. Why there was no interference call there, I don't understand.
It was clear interference. The umpire was standing right behind the play.
The umpire, huh?
Umpire, referee.
Well, as we heard a national commentator say during the bowl games yesterday, he felt there ought to be an officials Hall of Fame because they've won or lost a lot of games, and right there. Clearly interference in front of the net. He never had a chance to hit the puck, to even touch the puck. He was pulled down. 2 officials standing right there. Neither of them called it.
He had absolutely nobody blocking his view. And obviously we have a better view up here, but we could see who's in the way and who's not in the way up here.
Yeah, we do have a good view up here. No, the referee kicks the puck away from the Hibbing player. Well, I don't know. That's what happens when you have Grand Rapids officials and Greenway officials, I guess, is they kick the puck away from the Jackets because... Now right in front. Oh, it's fanning on the puck is ruined. Now back to the point. Big shot. Oh, he gloves it and holds on. That's got to be a delay of game penalty.
That's got to be.
But he's not going to call that one either. He grabbed it, he held on to the puck, and again, no call.
I always thought the goalie was supposed to have the pads on.
Yeah, well, I don't know. And the fans are letting them know about the displeasure, as this is getting to be just a little bit of a joke here.
Now is when the fans are starting to
and now the fans are getting into the game finally as they come to life for the Jackets. Jackets putting on intense pressure, but it's tough to beat 7 guys. It's 5 against 7. Jackets playing shorthanded again tonight.
Against the officials.
As we said, the officials Hall of Fame. I think I've got my first 2 inductees in this game.
Let's get their names and home phone numbers.
Oh, yeah. And publish them. Okay, puck goes over into the corner now. That's Doug Terrell. We better get off that because they might come and beat us up. So, okay, now into the near corner. Getting a nod from my director here. Okay. Now puck comes nearby. I'm sorry. We got a great view up here. Maybe they're missing it. I don't know. Oh, I know what it is. These are the guys who are giving these guys a chance. These are the guys who graduated from the Stevie Wonder School of Officiating. That's what it is. So, okay, now behind the net is Kaz. Oh, that's Zabotnik. Now with the puck is Steve Terrell. Back down the corner to Zabotnik. Now Steve Terrell again, the captain of the Blue Jackets, one of the captains, tips it down the corner for brother Doug. He can't control, and Knut Thomason comes up with it. And they clear it all the way down. That's a good move by the Skippers, as they needed to take that pressure off.
This program is produced by the Television Production 2 class and the Mass Communications Department at Hibbing Community College, Arrowhead Region. Any authorized use of retransmission in whole or in part is prohibited without the written consent of Hibbing Community College. That's a mouthful.
This broadcast just sunk to an altar. Oh, quick shot by Schwartz. Goes wide and Huseman holds it in. Now he fans on the puck, and the puck comes all the way down, and back to get it is Gosted. Jackets, I don't know if we have a little bad ice tonight or what, but they're fanning on a lot of the shots. Now Wohlers carries it in. Jackets really flying now here in the second period as they have shifted into high. Back to his Danny Kasner, number 5. This little Dan Kasner looked good against Hopkins, and he's having another good game tonight. A game that we did, I wound up, it was kind of a last-second deal over the holidays, the Hopkins game. It was a good game, and Danny Kasner played well.
I think Hibbing is all riled up from the 2 missed calls.
Well, if you can't get fired up when that happens to you, you can't get fired up at all. Now the Jackets try to come out the center, but held in over there. Picking up on the far side is Greg Harrison, he dumps it into the Hibbing zone. Back to get his Gosted. They either turn the heat up here. I'm getting into this game because I'm getting warm. Now turning his Wohlers. Hibbing 3-on-3, and there's handed right to him. And now the puck hit Dan Kasner as he was leaving the ice. I believe it hit Kasner. I don't know. It went out of play. It went into the Hibbing Jacket player's box, and we'll have a face-off out just inside the Minnetonka blue line.
Just over 8 minutes left to go in the second period. Hibbing is putting a lot of pressure on Minnetonka. It seems to me Hibbing is really trying to put the nails to this Minnetonka squad, trying to prove to them that they're not third in the state.
Right. And the officials, I guess, do have the best view on the ice. They are down there. We're up here, but we'll drop it at that. I heard some of the Minnetonka kids saying, let's kick those Iron Range butts, and a few other derogatory comments about Rangers before the game. So let's see if it's all talk or if they can make it action. At least this game doesn't really mean it. I don't know if this is a state tournament game. It's got a state tournament atmosphere. But we'll see what happens when it comes tournament time. No, a big stop. Oh, that hurts. Spong blocked that shot. Now it comes outside the zone, and we have an offside. Peter Spong took that shot right in the pad. A hard slap shot from Hardy.
He'll be thinking twice about stopping another shot like that.
Well, he did it correctly. He got in front of the shot, didn't go down there like a lot of these kids do with their face. Luckily, they have the mask on. He did it the right way, so at least if we have to say he did something, he did that correctly.
It sure takes a lot of guts to be going down face first like that. Mask or no mask, you're still going to get hit in the head. It takes a lot of guts to get in front of a shot with any part of your body. Those are hard shots out there. That's why I admire everyone that wants to be a goaltender.
Yeah.
To be standing there and having someone shoot a hard rubber object at you over 100 miles an hour at times.
One that just got taken out of a freezer, too, because they freeze those pucks up before the game to make them nice and hard. Now back play in the Minnetonka zone. Steve and Doug Terrell out again with, I believe it'll be Zabachnik, although I don't see him either. Zabachnik. And we'll have another icing call on the Skippers as they seem pretty content to just ice the puck here with 7:07 left and 2-0 Minnetonka lead.
This program is being underwritten by the following: Sullivan Supply Pro Sports, Northwoods Ford, Manny Shopper for Boney Sausaging Company, Erickson Music Center, Merchants and Miners State Bank of Hibbing, B&R Engineering Sales Incorporated, First Federal Savings and Loan Association, The Men's Shop, Bellagio Oldsmobile, and Viking Supply Incorporated. Whistle blown for what? We did not know.
Oh, Doug Terrell with a quick shot right into the pads of goaltender Madsen, and he makes the save. And Madsen just stood his ground there and made that stop.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd like to thank those sponsors for taking part in these telecasts. They make these possible, and we sure enjoy being here, and we hope that you enjoy it too. And if you have any comments or questions, or you want to get on me for getting on the officials, just drop a line to HCCV Cable Channel 2 in care of Hibbing Community College, and we'll be very happy to hear from you. Now the Skippers clear it out to center ice. Here comes number 12, Christ. Moves it over to the far side, coming in with Chad Hansen. Centers it for Hansen, cleared away nicely by Monticelli. And now the Jackets come back 2-on-2. As Zabachnik drops to Steve Terrell. I don't know what he's dropping the puck to. There's brother Doug. Now Skippers lost his stick in the slot. He picks up. There's Mark Johnson. Comes over to the near boards. They pinch up along the boards, and Pascuzzi controls and carries into the corner. Now the Jackets will change. They're going to be 2 men short on the points here. Now the Skippers come out right up the center of the ice. It goes just wide and icing. Number 22, Thomason was breaking, but they couldn't hit him with the pass, and another icing on the Skippers.
6:22 left in the second period. Minnetonka still leads 2-0. I think Hibbing is bound to score sometime soon. They're finally getting their act together, putting pressure on. Excuse me, I keep forgetting the goalie's name.
Manson.
Manson. There we go.
They are really skating well in the second period. They've come out flying, and the crowd's now gotten into the game, and this takes on that tournament atmosphere when the crowd gets into the game.
It does. It really does. When the crowd gets in the game, it makes the game more enjoyable.
And again, like I say, there's a north-south rivalry here. Mm-hmm. It's a natural, regardless of who it is from the cities. You know, these northern schools want to beat them, and that's what's going on here. Here comes number 5, Kasner. Quick shot is cleared wide. Now over there is Schwartz. Pinching in is Gosted, but out come the Skippers, 2-on-1. Number 7 coming in, that's Kazara. He centers it over to Jay Wida, but he can't get it. Now out on the near boards, here comes Kasner, but Gosted. The puck comes out, he clears it away, puts it right in the crease. A shot goes just wide, and now finally Madsen with the save. That puck was laying in the crease, and a Jacket number 14, Wohlers, had a shot at it. but could not put the puck in the net as again Madsen held his ground and wound up falling on the puck.
Hibbing fans getting behind their Blue Jackets here in order to get them riled up and start putting the puck in the net as they should be doing by now. We're just about 3/4 of the way through the second period.
We'll be back here Tuesday night, January 7th, to bring on as the Cloquet Lumberjacks come to town, and they've always got strong clubs. Bill Kennedy, their coach, loves coming up to the range. He says he loves it. Oh, nice shot right on. Kennedy said he loves it up there. We have a hand pass there, so we'll have a stoppage of play. To finish his story about Bill Kennedy, he was quoted as saying during last year's state tournament that hockey seems to have changed a lot, because it used to be when you come up to the range or Duluth area and watch a hockey game, there'd be a lot of people drunk and fighting in the parking lot. And he said, you never see those kind of things anymore. And he took some of the Minneapolis Twin Cities media aback when he said that, but you know, when I was a kid, that's the way it was. You know, you came to a game, and if it was International Falls, you kind of feared for your life, and you carried a stick or something with you. And Bill Kennedy said he misses those days. So the Cloquet Lumberjacks with Bill Kennedy come into town next Tuesday, January 7th, to take on the Blue Jackets. Ought to be a dandy.
He may miss those games, but
I don't.
I sure don't.
Me neither.
I like walking to my car.
And the Jackets are having all kinds of pressure, but they just can't put the puck in the net here. Now they battle along the near boards behind the net, and now finally picking it up is Parrish Cronin, and hammered behind the net. I can't see his number, but that's Girardi over. That was number 14.
Jeff Gello.
Gilo. Coach told me Gilo, so we'll call him Gilo.
Okay, sounds good.
And another face-off coming up this time to the right of Madsen. 4:46 left. All this pressure, the Jackets are going to have to put something in the net, otherwise they could start to get frustrated.
It seems to me that if you put a time watch on the puck to see which zone it is most of the time, I'd say the Jackets had it in the Minnetonka zone a lot. I mean, I'd say
the first 10 minutes of the game of this period, it's been down there probably 8.5 minutes. Now we'll have another face-off. This time will come just inside the face-off circle to the left of goaltender Madsen. Out for the Jackets, O'Brien, Rue, Girardi, along with Schwartz, Pascuzzi, and Hardy.
Could be a possibility that Madsen could be getting a little bit tired.
I don't think so. They've had a long layoff. He's pretty well rested. He's played a lot of games this year, though. Actually, I think their backup goaltender played well last year as a 10th grader, Dale Rail. Great name, Dale Rail. But he's not playing this year so far, and Madsen has gotten the call. Oh, giving it up behind his net is Johnny Rue. Now Girardi tries to control, comes over to the near boards, now in the Jacket zone. Bounces straight up in the air, and Rue clears it out of play and hits the split the pot man in the head. You can hit anybody on the rink, but don't hit the man with the money. Our director thinks he's got the winning tickets here, so we don't want to see that guy go down. Yep.
I'll be listening close for that, because if our director gets the split the pot, he owes me money, I think.
Yeah, I think he owes
If not, he will.
If not, we'll just roll him in the parking lot. But I couldn't buy a ticket this time because I have to do interviews. And coming up, by the way, after the second period, the Sheiks will be up here along with Steve Jezierski, who's now with WEBC and KBJR's Let's Play Hockey program. And Steve's always an interesting man. Was at WKLK in Cloquet for many years. Now is the voice of Bulldog Hockey on WEBC. Here comes Steve Terrell. Doug Terrell skating in. Steve Terrell still tries to control, ridden off the puck. Puck held in the zone. Jackets Gosted now getting inside the zone. Tries to take a shot. Couldn't control it quickly enough. Now gets a shot off. Knocked down right in front. Oh! And Gosted couldn't control in the slot. Now the skippers cleared out the center. Waiting for the Jackets to clear the zone is Huseman. Now dumps it back to Gosted. Now over on the near boards is Zabachnik, and he bounces it in, and the Jackets will make a change.
Slapped that one off the official. Possibly there was a little something there.
Oh, a big hit over in the corner. Puck went flying into the, I believe the puck went into the crowd, but down for the Skippers was number 20. It did go in the crowd. Number 20, Mark Johnson, was the recipient of that big hit over here in the near boards.
Johnson going to the bench now. He didn't get up too quickly.
Well, he was looking for the truck. He thought he wanted to get that license plate before he got off the ice, but made a quick getaway. And now on the ice taking his face-off will be Danny Kasner, as we have Kasner, Schwartz, and Wohlers out with Stavnis and Hardy. Puck rolled through the crease over to the far boards. Wohlers Bounces into the corner with a skipper. Now it's poked out to center ice. 2-on-2 come the Skippers. This is number 9, Matt Johnson. He centers it in front. Monticelli manages to clear it away. And now Hardy comes up to center ice. Gets ahead to Kasner. He just bumps it in the zone. As Hardy and number 17, Jay Wida, were still tangled up in the Jacket zone. Jackets hold it in. Now we'll have a face-off to the left of Madsen again with 2:44 left in this, the second period.
This is HCCV Cable Channel 2, community television for the city of Hibbing. Jackets really coming out and, I guess you could say, physically pounding the Minnetonka Skippers. I mean, they're laying the body on them quite heavily.
Been some tremendous hits there. It slides right through the slot, but not able to get his stick on the puck was Zabachnik. Now comes down to the Hibbing zone. That's number 7, Rue. He's knocked down. Oh, shot on. Monticelli makes the save. That's Girardi. It wasn't Zabachnik. Girardi controls now and brings it out to center. It's poke checked away. Is skating it all alone, number 7. And we have a puck laying in the crease with a lot of players. It was laying free. Number 7, Jeff Pizarro, was there. And referee lost sight of the puck and blew the whistle.
I think it was rather lucky for Hibbing to have that whistle blown because it was sitting between Monticelli's legs.
Now, see, you and I had a better angle on that play, but so we saw it. But the official wisely, once you lose sight of the puck, you have to blow the whistle. And of course, the Minnetonka players were disappointed, but that's the ruling. Once you lose sight of the puck.
And actually, it could have been frozen too because the Minnetonka player was laying over the pads of Monticelli.
Right.
In turn, freezing the puck there.
Now the puck is laying in the slot, comes right back to Monticelli, clears it over to Doug Terrell on the near boards. And it comes all the way down to the skipper zone, a high, hard one that just goes down, and Mark Johnson picks up in front of the net, clearing it using the boards to clear the puck to center ice. Racing for the puck, and now Hardy has it, gets it over. Steve Terrell will try to work something, but it's intercepted. Comes back to Hardy. He tips it ahead to Steve Terrell, but the puck rolls off his stick. Comes back out to some big hit over there by Hardy as he knocks Jeff Gilo down, and now it comes to center ice. Steve Terrell is knocked out at the blue line. Puck rolls harmlessly into the Minnetonka zone. Huseman over there to intercept, waits for Doug Terrell to get onside, and now just bumps it into the Minnetonka zone. Taken behind his own net by number 6, Dan Laughlin. Now the puck comes out to the blue line, held in nicely by Johnny Rue. Cleared around to the far boards. Jackets changing now. Held in nicely by Girardi. He doesn't know where it is. Laughlin and Rue go in, and they hold it with 1:14 left in the first period. Now's the time for the Jackets, Steve.
They've got to come out now. I mean, at least it would be nice for the Jackets if they came out and scored a goal with this just over a minute left. That would put a lot of pressure on Minnetonka to get at least 1 or 2 more insurance goals to try to tie up the victory. But if they don't do that, the Jackets should take advantage of that and start pressuring.
Oh, that's going to be a hand pass, but they won't call it because the Jackets got control. Right for goal! Oh! Beautiful play! Number 4, Gosted shot from the point. Puck was knocked down, and in the front of the net was number 7, Johnny Rue, I believe, to bat it in, and there's that goal. I said they had to get one now, and with 13:54, the Jackets are on the board.
Most of the Hibbing fans on their feet congratulating the Jackets on that fine play. I think Madsen was up looking at the puck as it was in the air, and he lost sight of it as it came down. I think it was Gosted. Who was
7 unassisted. 7 unassisted will be John Rue. As the puck hit somebody, I thought maybe they might give an assist to Gosted, but they do not.
Rue with fine concentration, watching that puck all the way down. He came as soon as it hit the ice. He slapped it in.
Last minute of the second period. Controlling behind the net are the Skippers. Now it goes behind the net. Trying to clear out. Here comes Johnny Rue again. Oh. Gosted gets the assist. Gosted gets the assist. They had waved off an assist there as we got the ruling from downstairs. Oh, right for the shot. Goal! Number 6, Andy O'Brien. And listen to this place erupt.
Completely all of the Hibbing fans are on their feet. Everybody giving the Blue Jackets a standing ovation. 33 seconds left in the period.
14:27, the time of that goal. And just like that, we're back to an even ball game to go into this third period.
As you said before, Steve, one goal would shake Madsen up. I guess it has.
Oh, it
and
really
they've
fired
scored
up
a second one
also. Jackets really fired up.
They have scored a second one on Madsen. Madsen must be thinking about what's going to happen in the third period. We've got a barn burner now.
6 from 4. I think Gosted gets another assist. Let's see. Andy O'Brien with the goal.
Jackets are just fired up. Number 14, Jeff
Gosted and Girardi with the assists.
Wohlers was slammed into the boards. It didn't even phase him. He came off the boards, still riding high.
Danny Kasner now controls it, tries to tip it out. 5 seconds left. Jackets going to have to get back on defense. Nice play there by Pascuzzi, and that'll end this period. 2-2. 2 late goals by the Jackets in the last 2 minutes have brought this hockey game even. The saves in this period for goaltender Madsen. We'll have to wait for the official stops here. We're waiting right now for the official saves.
Hibbing fans are on their feet.
14 for Madsen in that period. For 22 for the 2 periods. 6 for Monticelli, 14 for the game. We've got some special guests here now for the second period. As we have the Sheiks, and we also have Steve Jezierski coming up. We're here now after the second period, and I've got the Sheiks with me, and this is, I understand you're Sheik Adnan El Casey's brother, is that right?
Yeah, we're related somehow.
You're related somehow.
Distant cousins or something.
Distant cousins, okay.
Yeah.
You don't own wrestlers. These guys aren't like the Mongolian stomper here behind me that I have to worry about.
No, I wouldn't worry about them.
Okay.
They're usually under control.
You are Rick Neuveld?
Yeah,
correct?
right.
And you're, of course, the son of Dick Neuveld. Rick, how did this all come about with the Sheiks?
Well, a couple years ago, Jim Tuzna decided to do this one game for the state tournaments, and a few of the players asked him to dress up, and he did it, and the fans and players really got to liking it. So then last year we did it for tournaments, and the players this year asked us to dress up, so we just did, and I guess it's kind of catching on. People kind of like it.
What, do you have any strange experiences to talk about, or has it been all pleasant?
Well, it's not been. I can't really think of anything bad. You know, some of the people just kind of don't like it when we're standing up in front of them and cheering. But I guess most of it, the people really like us, and they like to see kids out here giving support to the team like this. So I guess it's all pretty much.
Did you guys all go and get your lipstick together, or is this a special?
Right.
We bombs now or what?
Well, no. The face paint, we buy the face paint and everything, and the lipstick comes, from different sources.
Now, you're a senior this year, Rick?
No, we're sophomores.
Oh, you're all sophomores. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Mike Broker and I are sophomores, and Dave Rue here is a freshman.
Oh, okay. So you guys are going to be around for a few years.
Yeah, we'll be around.
Look forward to seeing you guys. What do your parents think about this? Are they all for it?
I think they like it pretty much. It's they don't have anything bad to say about it. They kind of think we're a little bit weird, but I don't know. They don't really mind.
No, you just do you go to all the games, just hockey games, or you go to basketball games too, or anything like that, or
just mainly hockey games. We're just mainly the important games like this game. Of course, it'll affect the state standings, and Hibbing could get high, get ranked high in the state. So we decided to give them a little bit of extra support and a little extra push. And the other games, just the conference games, we're trying to paint up for like every game we can, but it's kind of hard to do.
You guys went to the state tournament last year. Did you have any trouble getting in, or were they happy to have you? And you guys were on TV too, right?
Right. Yeah. We had to have tickets and everything. Right. It wasn't like we got in for free, but they interviewed us down there, and we got our pictures in some papers. And
well, that's all right. Well, Rick, I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by.
Thank you for having us.
Sheiks. It's nice to see you guys. Keep up the good work.
Yep.
And right now, we're going to ask you guys to vacate because we've got big Steve Jezierski coming in over here, the voice of Bulldog hockey. Well, thank you for coming by, Rick.
Thank you.
We'll see you again throughout the season, I'm sure. And I got to ask you, Steve, have you ever followed Sheiks before, or is this something new for you?
No, I don't think I've followed anything like this before.
I'm sorry about that, but they do a good job up here. Now, Steve, you're the voice of U of D Bulldog Hockey on WEBC, along with Chisholm native Mark Barron, and you are also with Jim Rich on KBGR TV. Have a show, Let's Play Hockey. Doing anything special up here, or just love to watch a good hockey game?
Just here watching some good hockey. I love high school hockey. I've followed it for many years, and of course you've got the number 3 and number 6 rated teams in the state here, and so it was a great opportunity to get out and see some good high school hockey.
Now, Steve, you started, came to prominence, I guess, in this area with WKLK radio, and then doing the Bulldogs on television on KBGR last year. How'd you get your start in broadcasting, and how long have you been up in this area?
Well, I've been here about 12 years. I graduated from Proctor High School and went right into radio following high school. I did go to Duluth Vo-Tech and got into sports right away, and that's something I always wanted to do, was get into sports broadcasting, and started at WKLK in Cloquet. It would have been 12 years this fall, and finally made the move, went to Duluth, and I'm very happy with my new job. I do 5 sportscasts a day. I do UMD hockey, and I do College Hockey USA with Channel 6 KBJR on Sunday evenings, so I'm involved with sports full-time, and I'm really enjoying it.
You were, at, like you say, at WKOK for almost 12 years, and how hard was it for you to leave them? You became kind of a fixture. I mean, we used to see you a lot. The voice became something that was easily recognizable. You have a great style, and how tough was it to move and attract a new audience? Was it a challenge?
It was very hard to move. I had some opportunities before, and quite frankly, I didn't have the guts to pick up and leave. And this opportunity came up, and it was the right time, and for this time anyway, the right position. And I had worked for some very, very outstanding people the last 3 years, and my boss had left about 2 weeks before I gave my notice, and he moved on elsewhere, and that made it easier for me, and I guess it was meant to be this time. And as I said, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, but the people in Cloquet and WKLK treated me well for many, many years, and I still follow the Lumberjacks very closely. I still write for the Cloquet newspaper, the Pine Knot, so I follow the Jacks in all sports in that respect.
Now, WEBC for a long time was known as a music radio station, and they've recently gone to a little more sports, a little more news and information-oriented programming. How has that worked out for you as far as moving over there? Basically, they came into Bulldog hockey with you, and I'm sure that was probably part of the reason was getting you, was going to Bulldog hockey. How much has that been easy for you, and how much have they helped you along, and how much? Whoa, I think people throwing stuff at us here.
Well,
it's got to be a challenge for you coming into a new situation.
Well, it is. Bob Junkert, of course, was there for 3 or 4 years, and then, of course, unfortunately passed away, and then they were out of the sports business for about 3 years. They thought they needed to add sports to their programming. They have been very good and strong in the news field for a number of years now, and they thought they needed to add sports to the programming, and, were, I guess, happy to get me, as I was happy to move over with them. They've created the opening. They've given me a lot of leeway, which is something that I've been used to, and it's worked out very well. We've had a great response to our sports.
Well, that's great. I'll enjoy listening to you, Steve. Continued success at WEBC and on KBJR. Say hello to Jim Rich for us, and good luck with your new job. And we'll be back with the third period coming right up. Well, we're back and ready for third period action. Both teams surrounding their goal. Steve Suzik is ready with a recap of that second period.
In the second period, it was all Hibbing. No penalties, though. It was a clean play. But in the second period, the first goal came at 13:54, kind of late in the period, but it's never too late for Hibbing. Goal came by John Rue, assisted by Gostad. And the second goal came at 14:27, just really late in that second period. It was Hibbing, of course, by Andy O'Brien scored the goal, assisted by Joel Gosted and Girardi. That was at 14:27. For the saves, Madison for Minnetonka had 14 saves, showing how the Hibbing Blue Jackets are putting the pressure on Minnetonka. Monticelli only had 6, compared to 8 apiece in the first period.
So for the game thus far through 2 periods, Monticelli with 14 saves, Madsen with 22. We're ready almost now at center ice. Facing off will be number 4, Chad Hansen. He'll face off against number 19, Steve Terrell. And Terrell controls the puck. Puck is at the blue line, and Huseman will clear it up ahead to Zabotnik. Zabotnik will chase in the zone, clears it into the corner, is hammered along the boards by Peter Spong. Now the puck comes out to the near boards, and the Skippers clear it out to center ice. And racing out is Chad Hansen, 2-on-2. He changes sides with number 16, Greg Harrison, but now the Jackets control and bring it out to center ice. Intercepted by Harrison in center ice. Puck comes back to the blue line and picked up by Steve Terrell. Terrell wheels in center, skates into the Skipper zone, gets a beautiful pass over to his brother Doug. Puck lays loose in the slot. Nobody home, and it's cleared away as Doug could not quite get his stick on that puck. Beautiful 2-on-1 break by the Jackets.
Hibbing looking good on that breakaway, finally putting the pressure on Madison that they need to keep.
It's Mad Sun.
Oh, Madsen. There we go, Madsen.
Zabotnik tips it in center ice, and no icing, of course, as he tipped it in center ice, and the Jackets will change.
Thank you for that correction. Minnetonka taking it back out, kept in by number 5. Shot taken by number 5.
Shot by Kasner. Danny Kasner with the big shot, and the faceoff comes in the faceoff circle to the right of goaltender Lance Matson.
This program is being underwritten by the following: Sullivan Supply, Pro Sports, Northwoods Ford, Manny Shopper, Fraboni Sausage and Company, Erickson Music Center, Merchants and Miners, State Bank of Hibbing, B&R Engineering Sales Incorporated, First Federal Savings and Loan, The Men's Shop, Bellagio Oldsmobile, and Viking Supply Incorporated.
Puck is controlled by the Skippers back into the near corner. I'd like to thank the Sheiks, Steve Jezerski, and our first period guest, Bo Nikoloff, for coming up here to chat with us. Center right front. Oh, puck goes off of Madsen's leg. Now he holds it on the near boards, or against the net on the far post. Getting so excited, I'm losing track of the game here. 13:43 left, and we're tied at 2.
Madsen must be a little shaken up after those 2 quick goals at the end of the end of the second.
Hardy at the point, fires it right into the sliding defender. That's number 17, Jay Wida. Now in on goal is Matt Johnson, poked away nicely by Hardy. And now Kasner controls on the near boards, clears it out. Monticelli tips it behind his own net. Now intercepted by Kozara. He sends it in front, but Kasner gets it out. Here come the Jackets 3-on-2. Up ahead to Wohlers. Wohlers skates in, puts a little shot on goal. And the puck bounces off a defenseman. Puck is on the side of the net. Looked like it might have gone in. Players all over the ice. Wohlers controls, gets it back to Hardy. A quick shot is intercepted. And out to center ice comes number 7, Kozara. Puts a great move on Tom Pescuzzi. Backhand shot, Monticelli the save. Nice defensive play. We're going to have a penalty here. A holding penalty. Nice hold. A good penalty if there is such a thing on number 10, I believe, Hardy, or number 15, Pescuzzi. I guess it'll be Hardy. Number 10 for holding.
Hardy doing everything to save that goal from saving the puck from going in and giving Minnetonka that 1-goal edge as they tied it up at the last part of that second period.
Time of that penalty, 2:02. A holding penalty on Mike Hardy. So the Minnetonka Skippers go back on the power play for the second time tonight.
Face-off will be to the right of Monticelli.
Their first power play, the only other one they've had, they scored on. Now the Jackets clear it all the way down. That's Gosted. And Madsen controls on his own net. Now centers it up ahead to Harrison. He can't control, and here come the Skippers back to center ice. That's Harrison, brings it up, bounces one right on Monticelli, clears it to side, and Huseman takes it behind the net. Now over in the corner for John Rue. Rue controls, gets it back over to Gosted. Now he just fires it up to the point. It's not held in by Harrison, and Girardi has a semi-break, but back is Spong. As the puck goes behind the Minnetonka goal, Spong has a little trouble and crashes into the boards, but keeps his balance and comes out the far side. Gets it into his defender's skate. That's number 12, Christ, and Christ is not flying at center ice. Puck goes back into the corner to Huseman. Now Kel Huseman just hands the puck over to number 4, Hansen. And they clear it all the way down on a nice play by Huseman or Gosted. I didn't see exactly who it was, but it was a nice play as they cleared it all the way down.
1 minute left in the penalty for Hibbing.
Back to pick it up is Harrison. Harrison headmans the puck up, and the Jackets control. Tom Pescuzzi clips it right back into the Minnetonka zone. Now almost a steal. Now there is a steal by Pescuzzi, and he takes it and carries it into the Minnetonka zone. Puts it into the slot. It's intercepted by number 7, Kozara, and he comes back to center ice. Over on the far boards to Matt Johnson. He takes a shot that's deflected off Doug Terrell. Doug Terrell sliding behind his net. Goes right underneath Jay Wida. Now Wida controls behind the net. Sliding out is Doug Terrell. Now Tom Pescuzzi gets back in front. Pescuzzi and Stavnis on the points. Puck is deflected out in front by Doug Terrell. Still gets on to Monticelli. Nice play by Wida. He slides it in. Big save by Monticelli. The Terrell brothers and Stavnis. And there's a nice play by Steve Terrell. And now he races down. He gets his long arms on the puck and is ridden down. We're going to have a penalty on number 20. That's Mark Johnson. Let's see what they call it. I think it's a holding penalty at 11 minutes. That's a holding penalty on Mark Johnson at 4 minutes into this period.
This program is produced by the Television Production 2 class of the Mass Communications Department at the Hibbing Community College, Arrowhead Region. Any unauthorized use or retransmission in whole or in part is prohibited without the written consent of Hibbing Community College.
Yeah, good penalty killing by the Jackets, and ultimately resulted in a penalty to Minnetonka. So Jackets shorthanded for 2 seconds, and then they'll be back on the power play. Steve, they're flying.
They are. They really are. Jackets are looking good. They're riding high and trying to put something together and knock off this downstate team, as they say.
And the puck is cleared all the way down the ice. That had to take a little wind out of the sails of the Skippers. Ha 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 ha. No pun intended. I didn't really think of that until I started to say it, but
that's bad.
That had to take a little bit of their wind. Oh, there's a big collision in center ice, kind of an incidental collision as Schwartz ran into the Skipper player, I believe was number 12, Christ, and they both went flying, and Schwartz went offside.
Both teams really fighting it out this time.
Jackets at full strength now. Could really use a goal here right now. Monticelli's come up with some big saves so far this period.
He has. I guess his confidence is back. Those 2 goals, I'd guess that one, it wasn't really a goal, just kind of dribbled by him.
Well, neither of them are really his fault because he made the initial stop and then they just couldn't clear the nice play in front. Oh! Hit the defenseman, number 5, Spong, and dribbled wide as the Jackets centered as they put on pressure now on the power play. As we started to say, those 2 goals were kind of... Monticelli made the first save, and then they just couldn't clear the puck from in front of the net. Minnetonka got those rebound goals. Now Schwartz behind the net. Gets it back to the point to Steve Terrell. Whistles a shot right in. Oh! Now Schwartz will control as it hit traffic in front. Gets it back in the corner to Girardi. Back with the O's again. Now over into the corner. That's Schwartz controlling. He kicks it ahead to himself. Looking to center. Does so to Gostad. He can't control it. And now just sliding out and clearing it out of the zone is Jeff Christ. And now the Skippers will change all 4 men, and the Jackets charge to center ice. See if they can catch him on that change. Big play. Oh, we have an offside call. Oh. It was a close call. He was right on the line. He has a better view than we do, and it could very well have been an offside. Tough call for the official, but he was very authoritative in the call. I will say this much. It must have been an offside because he immediately made the call. He didn't hesitate one bit.
36 seconds left in the power play for Hibbing. Hibbing has really shown a decent power play here.
They really are, and out on the ice right now for the Jackets, Doug Terrell, John Rue, and Andy O'Brien with Stavnis and Hardy at the defense. Or
again, just a couple bad breaks are not going Hibbing's way, as in shooting. They bounced a couple off of
well, they've been close a couple of times. Now playing center ice, that's Kuzara. Now the Jackets control, but not able to move to the puck is Doug Terrell, and it's intercepted by the Skipper. Shot goes wide. Monticelli just tips it behind his own net. Hardy picks it up and centers it out. And here we come. Long pass over for Andy O'Brien. Nice little move by O'Brien as he goes against his opposite number, Dan Laughlin, number 6. Now picked up by Doug Terrell as he skates around. He'll get it back to the point to Hardy. Power play is over. And the player gets back in the play, Mark Johnson. So now it's definitely 5-on-5, and here come the Skippers back to center. That's Matt Johnson. He tips it over past Hardy. Hardy tips it into the corner. Wida chases after with Hardy. Hardy and Wida in the corner. Now we're going to have a face-off. No. Rue moving the puck a little bit along the corner. Wida's there. And Rue decides to move it out. Now Hibbing players again battled ice. Play by Rue, but he's tied up. Puck goes right on to Monticelli, bounces crazily, and he has to fall on it. Almost a break again for the Skippers.
Monticelli always keeping his eye on that puck. Madsen on that last goal of the second period. Going back to that, looks like he didn't really have a good eye on that puck.
Yeah, I got a slinky up here. I don't know what this is here. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Okay. Face-off now comes out, and here comes Wohlers to center ice. Now over to Schwartz. Schwartz centers it. Wohlers couldn't get his stick on it. Schwartz comes right around the net, though. Big stop. Oh, and it's right into the defenseman, into the goaltender, I guess. Nice shot by Danny Kasner. Jackets really buzzing here now.
I guess you could say the Jackets are really flapping, or...
Jackets are blowing in the wind. No, they're really flying, and the skippers are treading on thin ice. Well, you know, with a team like the Skippers, you could, and I don't think of these puns. I'm sorry, I'm not that good a thinker. I just kind of...
Well, you figure the Skippers and the Jackets playing on frozen water.
Why are we losing our volume here? Are we on? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Guess we're having little equipment problems that we can't hear each other, but we're still getting a reading on the view meters.
And a big stop there. Our headsets just went out. Check. Okay, we're back on now. We had a little problem with the headsets here. We got to jingle them a little bit. Steve, are you hearing me now?
Oh, yeah, I'm picking up.
Okay, I can't hear. We cannot hear each other, so we'll have to go blind here and kind of punch each other all day. Oh, I can't hear you. Well, anyway. Oh, quick shot. Big shot by, I'll see his number any second. That was O'Brien. Now Hardy fires right into the defenseman again. The puck dribbles out to center ice. And nice move by Johnson as he gets around Gosted and just fires it in. 7:41 left in this period. We may be looking at the dreaded overtime.
Oh.
I hear you now, Steve.
Ever so dreaded overtime.
Yes. Oh, boy, puck comes off at a crazy angle. Center right in front. Nobody home. Luckily, puck dribbled just wide. And now the Jackets will skate out with Girardi. Up ahead to Roux. Roux going into the corner against Peter Spong. Roux hits the deck. Now it's cleared around to the near boards. That's Girardi trying to center it out. Can't do so. Intercepted nicely by John Roux. But the Skippers take control and come back to center ice as Matt Johnson chases it with Gosted. Puck is fired into the Hibbing zone, and Hibbing changes quickly. And we have a problem. Oh, there it is. Nice play by Hardy as he gets back to cover that puck. Puck comes out to center ice. We have a skipper deep in the Hibbing zone. He now just getting back on side, and they fire it back into the Hibbing zone, and they'll change. Now Hardy goes back behind the net with number 8. That's Parrish Cronin, and here come the Jackets back to center with Zabachnik. Zabachnik Terrell. Oh, Zabachnik couldn't get the pass back. But Doug Terrell manages to hold it in and fire it behind the net. This has been a buzzsaw line put together tonight by the Jackets with the two Terrells and little Pat Zabachnik.
You could possibly call the Terrells the Twin Terrors.
Well, they're not twins, but they're terrors. They're awfully good.
Close.
Gets that talent, runs in the family, and now the puck will go out of play, and we have a face-off coming up to the right of goaltender Monticelli with 6:15 left. We're tied 2-2.
This program is being underwritten by the following: Sullivan Supply and Pro Sports, Northwoods Ford, Manny Shopper, Verboni Sausage and Company, Erickson Music Center of Hibbing, Merchants and Miners State Bank of Hibbing, B&R Engineering Sales Incorporated, First Federal Savings and Loan Association, The Men's Shop, Claudio Oldsmobile, and Viking Supply Incorporated.
Official waited just long enough for us to finish that too, and now the puck comes out to center ice between Wohler's leg, and back to get it is number 6, Dan Laughlin. Laughlin now being forechecked nicely by Wohlers, now held in nicely at the point by number 15, Tom Pescuzzi. As we have Tom Pescuzzi and Gosted at the points. You got Kasner, Schwartz, and Wohlers out now for the Jackets. Back to the point. Pescuzzi puts a shot on, deflected in front. Madsen kicks it wide. Now it comes out again. Pescuzzi moves in nicely right into the slot. Nice give. Back to Kasner. He shoots. Oh,
just
big
goes
stop
wide
again by Madsen. As there were a lot of people in front of that net. Now coming out of the corner is Wohlers. Tries to center. It's knocked away. Now he winds and shoots. Big save again for Madsen. Hibbing putting on intense pressure here as we're just over 5 minutes now. Schwartz behind the net. Now the Skippers will go for the faceoff, and they hold it behind their own net. Good pressure by the Jackets.
Definitely, if you hear the crowd giving their support to the Hibbing Blue Jackets as they put on a fine showing there, putting all that pressure on Madsen.
Been a very appreciative crowd. It's been a great game. The first period belonged to Minnetonka. The second period belonged definitely to the Blue Jackets in the territorial play, and they finally tied it up there. And now this period, they've gone back and forth. Both goaltenders making outstanding saves.
Sounds a little bit like the crowd is out of the game. They're somewhat quiet besides their applause.
I think it's more or less the calm before the storm. Now we had something on the ice, a piece of a stick or something lying there, and they clear it up, and we'll have the face-off. Two sevens facing it up. Kuzara and Rue. Kuzara from Minnetonka, Johnny Rue from Hibbing, of course. There's a shot right on, and Madsen will hold it again. 5:15 left. We're still at 2. And 5:15. Then if they keep playing this way, we'll have, I believe, it's either a 5 or an 8-minute overtime period. Now we have a puck dropped. Somebody was in the zone, so we'll face it off again as Kuzara and Rue will attempt it again. Rue, Stavnis is out there. O'Brien, Girardi, and Hardy for Hibbing. Girardi and Hardy. Now a quick shot. Goal! Andy O'Brien moved into the slot and unleashed a wicked wrist shot that beat goalie Madsen clean. The Jackets now have come back to a full circle and lead 3-2.
That goal comes at, correct me if I'm wrong, 6:54.
9 minutes and 48 seconds.
There you go.
That's an art. It took me about 5 years to learn that one.
Just took a wicked shot that went over the glove side of Madsen. Madsen never really saw that.
6 from 7. Andy O'Brien from John Rue. Rue off the faceoff, left it in the slot. O'Brien moved right in and blasted one. A hard wrist shot. Actually, he didn't really blast it. It was a hard wrist shot that beat goalie Madsen clean. Now they're playing the Jacket zone. Here come the Jackets back to center. Rue is sent flying. He loses his stick, so he'll come and get a new one. A quick shot on, and Madsen makes the save, leaves the rebound. Jackets really buzzing now as number 6. O'Brien again in the zone. Now it comes out to the open slot, and it comes down into the Jacket zone, and Hardy will control. Big hit now. The referee knocks O'Brien down. O'Brien just can't get any respect out there. Here come the Jackets back to center. Here's Girardi. He has the puck taken away, and it comes back out to center ice. We've got a 2-on-3. Oh, knocked down nicely was Parrish Cronin. He left his stick in a few teeth at the blue line. Here come the Jackets on a breakaway. Minnetonka was changing. Steve Terrell. He scores! Steve Terrell on a breakaway. Caught the Skippers in a change. And the Jackets have now taken a 4-2 lead. I don't believe it.
That was Steve Terrell's 4th goal of the year.
And listen to this crowd.
4-2. 4 minutes and 22 seconds left to go in this game. Jackets on top and riding high.
10:38, the time of the goal.
Jackets seem to be scoring in pairs like they were a basketball team, which is not anything to complain about. If you score one, if they score another, that's fine.
Steve Terrell from Doug Terrell as the Terrell brothers put it together. Now the Jackets buzzing. We've got a delayed penalty on the Jackets. They sure don't need this. And now it's intercepted by Gostin, and we've got the call.
Goalie.
They pulled that extra man on the ice, and we've got a penalty on the Jackets to Doug Terrell for elbowing.
Terrell possibly getting a little bit too excited.
Boy, the Jackets have come full circle here. Steve Terrell from Doug Terrell on that goal. Now Doug Terrell takes a penalty for elbowing. Time of that penalty, 11:03.
Minnetonka did something I like to see in almost any hockey game when they pull that goalie.
Well, they were quick about it, too. And these Skippers, oh, you could see when that goal was scored, the head started to hang. Now the Jackets are going to have to kill off a penalty. A goal here for the Skippers would put them right back in this hockey game with 3:44 left. And the Jackets hold it out in front of their goal, but clear it all the way down. Back for the Skippers is number 6, Dan Laughlin. He's forechecked well. Now, if Schwartz would have turned around, he would have intercepted. Now they do intercept it, as that's Huseman carrying it into the zone. Mark Johnson. Huseman will go back. He just gets hammered back there trying to control the puck, and they'll get the face-off. Quick whistle, but they'll get the face-off to the left of goaltender Monticelli. 1:28 left in the period. 1:28 left in the penalty. 3:25 in the period.
Possibly the official trying to calm things down a bit with a quick whistle.
Well, that's not a bad idea because tempers are, the way this has been a very intense hockey game. And, of course, we have the number 3 team, Minnetonka, trailing the number 6 team. And so those all important, for what reason I'll never understand. Oh, puck was deflected off of Girardi almost into the goal. Monticelli got his stick on it. Much too much importance put on those state rankings. And this is a game for state ranking right now. Jackets playing that box very well. Hammering shot from the point was number 16, Harrison. It goes wide. Now the puck is behind the Hibbing net. That's number 7, Kozara. It's stolen away and just pounded down the ice nicely by Johnny Rue. I believe
That
it
was the way
John
to do it.
And
No
Girardi
holding
goes back. Hibbing sends 2 men into forecheck. Hardy's coming off the ice. And number 4, Gosted, comes on to handle the point duties. Oh, and it's cleared out, but Gosted fanned on the puck again. Hibbing's done that a lot tonight. As maybe the ice is a little poor. They've had a lot of games in here, a lot of practices going on, and may have some bouncing pucks, and that usually causes the fanning of the puck. Now the Skippers control. 27 seconds left in the penalty, and the puck comes outside the zone. The Jackets have just about killed this one off, and I think if you see Doug Terrell come on the ice, you'll hear a big roar from the crowd as the puck now comes back in. 15 seconds. John Rue chases into the zone. He's ridden off the puck by number 5, Spong, and Spong comes back to center ice. Spong now hammers a slap shot through a couple of defensemen. It dribbles into the corner. Now over here in the corner, that's number 22, Knut Thomason, and Terrell is on the ice. The Jackets have killed this off. Now they come out to center. It's Gosted. He ought to just dump it. He carries it in. Nice moves by Gosted. Oh, he almost got the shot off. Checked by 2 players. That was Harrison and Thomason. And Schwartz handles. Now back to Doug Terrell. Puck hits some bodies in front of the net. A lot of Hibbing players in close to the goal. Now they back off a little bit. Gosted is very tired. He comes off, and Huseman comes up. And they score! Looked like Doug Terrell. I'll have to wait, but looked like they gave it up in front of the net. Doug Terrell poked it by Madsen. And with 1 minute and 30 seconds left, that should just about do it.
That goal came at 13:30 of the 3rd period.
You got it. That one belongs to Hibbing, as this 3rd period belongs all to Hibbing with 3 unanswered goals. And the fans are even starting to get up and go now. Doug Terrell with the goal from Steve Terrell. So we reversed the last Hibbing goal. Last Hibbing goal was Steve from Doug. This one's Doug from Steve.
Brothers working together as they should.
Boy, I think the Jackets might have found themselves a number 1 line here. Although they don't go by number 1. Everybody gets a chance to start. They use colors, I believe, red, green, and blue.
That's
Now
Doug
it's sent it
Terrell.
out again. Oh, and a big hit on Doug Terrell in the slot. Puck dribble behind the net. We're down to 1:15. Long lead pass picked up by Stavnes. He just skates it out of the zone and clears it all the way down. And the Jackets are down to 1 minute and 5 seconds left. We'll hear a big roar at the 1 minute mark. There it is, 1 minute to play. And you hear the roar from the crowd as the Jackets have surprised. And nice play by Steve Terrell as he'll just skate around and kill some time over to Huseman. Just clear it to the skipper line. No, the Skippers look very disorganized as they have just totally come unglued. And it's cleared all the way back into the skipper zone with 36 seconds to play. In forechecking Kasner and Schwartz. Kasner controls, brings it out. It's knocked away by a skipper, and he'll kind of skate it out now. Intercepted by Wohlers. He can't hold it in. 25 seconds. Now Wohlers at center. Head to Kasner. Kasner controls at center. Now it's shot in the zone with 17 seconds to play. And the Skippers just try to clear it out, not even showing any emotion now at all, as they're just playing out the string here. 8 seconds as the crowd counts it down. Tom Piscuzzi right through the slot. Puck bounces over Roller's stick, but that'll do it. Shot at the buzzer. 5-2 Hibbing victory. We'll get the final saves here as soon as they get done with the fight song. Steve, one heck of a hockey game.
That really was. We're expecting a good hockey game tonight, and I honestly didn't expect this good of a hockey game, as in Hibbing come out on top this fast, this late in the game.
When I saw those 2 goals, I thought, well, Hibbing's in for a long night, but they sure showed me something tonight. The saves in this 3rd period for Madsen, 11, 33 for the game for Monticelli, 10 for a game period. Oh, excuse me, that's 6 saves for a game total of 20. Steve, an excellent hockey game. The number 3 team, Minnetonka, against the number 6 team, Hibbing, and number 6 has won this game 5-2 for Steve Suzik. I'm Steve Zimmerman, wishing you a very pleasant good evening.